Everyone's fun around. My name is Jordan. This video is for Tuesday's slate of games and lesson learned. This lesson I just keep having to relearn when the wife says she's going to go out for just a few things and it's going to just be quick and to hold the baby. And I want to do research and make a video at around 8 o'clock. Should probably say, what do you need? I'm going to go get it because she's going to be gone for 2.5 hours and come back with 100 different things. So that's why this video is coming out much later than I wanted to. I contemplated even making this video, but I was like, no, I really actually want to make a video tonight. I want to research these games. So we have 7 games to look into. You will see images that come up on the screen right here. This is from a data app called Outlier. There will be a link in the description for a 7-day free trial for Outlier. And I will have my plays in the pinned comment. Probably will put the plays in the morning after everything comes out. So I'm filming the night before. I work a full-time job. So this first game is the 76ers at the Knicks. The Sixers are tanking. The Knicks are kind of comfortably in the 3rd seed. Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond are all out. Jalen Brunson, Cameron Payne, and Miles McBride, also known as Deuce McBride, are all out. That is their 3 point guards. So they haven't had them for the past couple of games. So I immediately thought, well, who's distributing the ball? And I know who that is. That's Josh Hart has been passing the ball around. And these Sixers give up the most assists overall. So over the past 2 games without a true point guard, he's had 9 assists and 8 assists. He also rebounds really well. So you could take a chance on like a triple-double here. But that's if we think the 76ers can kind of keep it close. Otherwise, we're looking at high blowout potential, and I would say look at first quarter props or first half props. But Josh Hart would be the guy for assist. And then also for the Knicks, this is like barbecue chicken for Karl Anthony Towns with Andre Drummond not there, with Joel Embiid not there. They used to start Gershon Yabusele at the center position. I think now they start a guy named Adam Bona. I think that's how you pronounce it. But they give up the second most points to the center position. He's had 2 bad games the past couple of games. So this is a bounce back spot in a amazing matchup for Karl Anthony Towns. And like I said, high blowout potential here. So first quarter props, first half props definitely in play, or you could take a parlay and just kind of water down the line a little bit and just hope that they hit it before they sit in the 4th quarter. But it is Tom Thibodeau, so they'll play a little bit more than usual. Second game is the Suns at the Bucks. Bradley Beal is questionable and Kevin Durant is out. Dame is going to be out indefinitely, and then Giannis is likely to play. So the Bucks are hanging on to the 6th seed right now. That means they could fall into a playing game. And the Suns, they fell into the lottery, and they just lost Kevin Durant for at least a week, I believe. So they're in a really bad spot here. A good matchup here, but I want to put a warning on it because he just hasn't taken many shots lately, is Brook Lopez. Got a good matchup here at the center position, 4th most points allowed. The Bucks played the Suns on March 24th. They did not have Dame, and he scored 23 points, had 10 rebounds. He had 3 20-point games in a row, and then the past 2 games, he has not scored much at all. He isn't taking many shots. So I'm hoping that his lack of volume, his passiveness has lowered his line, and we get a deal here against the Suns with this really good matchup. If his line seems high, I would just say stay away from it. But this is a really good spot here for Brook Lopez to score again and get at least in the high teens. If you guys could, please like the video. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you leave a comment for the algorithm? Yeah, I'm gonna do what Mark has done with baseball and scoreboard don't lie. Instead of a number, just put the W. We're trying to get some wins here. I'm gonna copy him on that one. And also, if you use Prizepicks, you want to get away from it, or you just want to try something else out with more options, you want to get a deposit match and just have that free money, check out Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, ChalkBoard, or Better. I know it's a bunch of apps. I would say if you're starting out, check out Underdog and Sleeper. Those are the top two. Underdog's matching your first deposit up to $1,000. The rest are doing up to 100, and Better's matching up to 250 for your first bet. Promo code is fine around 11. Links are in the description. That'll take you straight there. This third game is the Trailblazers at the Hawks. Trailblazers are in the lottery, but they are not tanking. I mention this every time. They have a shot for the playing game, kind of like an outside shot, but they play hard. I know they got blown out the last time I mentioned that, but they still, they're not like sitting guys just to sit guys. And then the Hawks, they're in the good playing game right now. They need to get some wins if they want to try to steal that 6th seed from the Bucks. So the Blazers, Scoot Henderson is out. Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simons are questionable. And then for the Hawks, Trae Young is probable. And I mention this guy every single time I talk about the Blazers. He's the heart and soul of the Blazers. And I know I keep mentioning like kind of the same guys now as we get closer to the end of the year. And it's because there's a few guys who you can say are kind of reliable or consistent or kind of go-to guys. A lot of guys are inconsistent. But Denny Avdia has another great matchup here. He plays both forward positions, small forward and power forward, but his natural position, I would say, small forward. The Hawks give up the 5th most points to the small forward position, and then at the power forward position, if Jeremy Grant isn't there, they give up the most points to the power forward position. So his last 2 games, he's had 33 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and then 24 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. He's had a bunch of rebounding, double doubles with points. He'll fill up the stat sheet in just about every category. So the Hawks play at a top 3 pace, so it's going to give him more opportunities. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. But points is the best matchup for him. But I wouldn't be shocked if he got a bunch of rebounds, got a bunch of assists. And if Anthony Simons sits, that's a lot of volume coming his way. A fourth game is the Magic, who will be on a back-to-back versus Spurs, who are tanking. The Magic are in the good playing game, but there's only a 4-point spread on this one. I was a little bit shocked. I think it's because the Magic are on a back-to-back and they're going on the road. And the Spurs, they can be competitive every once in a while. Cole Anthony didn't play on Monday. We'll see what the new injury report looks like. Spurs have no new significant injuries. Basically, all the significant injuries that they had are guys out for the year. And for the Magic, Franz Wagner has a great matchup, but the guy who's been the most consistent is Paolo Banchero. So the Spurs give up the 6th most points to the power forward position, the 2nd most rebounds, and the most assists to the power forward position. Since this is a back-to-back, I did go and check his last 2 back-to-backs, and I was surprised. 32 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and then 43 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. So he has done great on his last 2 back-to-backs, so that should not bother him. And like I said, the Magic are in that same good playing game, just like the Hawks, trying to get that 6th seed from the Bucks. So they're going to want to play hard. Fifth game is the Raptors at the Bulls. Bulls will be on a back-to-back. They just got destroyed by the Thunder. We kind of saw that coming. The Raptors will be sitting Abaji, RJ Barrett, Grady Dick. The Bulls will need an update on their injury report. I know Josh Giddey was questionable for that last one. Maybe he sits, maybe he doesn't. But the Raptors are tanking. They'll sit their starters with 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. They're hard to trust. The Bulls are in the bad playing game right now. And the guy I keep pointing out, and he's done well except for this Thunder game. They locked him up, is Kobe White. So it was a bounce back game here. Since Kevin Huerter was hurt, Kobe White stepped into the shooting guard position, and the Raptors give up the 6th most points to the shooting guard. He had 24 points and 25 points the last 2 games versus the Raptors. And before this game against the Thunder, he had a 15-game, 20-point scoring streak going, and he also had 25 or more points in 11 out of the last 14 games before that Thunder game. So he was on fire. They just, he just ran into a brick wall. And now that brick wall is completely gone, and he's gonna have free reign to score buckets here. The sixth game is the Warriors at the Grizzlies. Grizzlies will be on a back-to-back. The Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga is questionable, and for the Grizzlies, Brandon Clark was ruled out for the year. This is an extremely important game, not one that either of these teams are going to want to shy away from or sit major players. The winner of this game will take the 5 seed. They're at the 5 and the 6 right now. The loser could actually fall as far as the 7 and fall into a playing game. So this is a huge game for both of these teams. I'm not going to look at the Grizzlies because they are in a back-to-back. But a good matchup that I like for the Warriors is Jimmy Butler, plays the same position as Jason Tatum. And Jason Tatum, for the last video I did, I mentioned his rebounds and his assists at that power forward position, and he did great rebounding. He didn't pass the ball that much, but he still cleared his rebounds assist. So Jimmy Butler's in the same spot, 5th most rebounds allowed to the power forward position and the 7th most assists allowed overall to teams. So his last 6 games, his rebounds assists total, he had 11, 14. He had 8 in that blowout versus the Heat, where the Heat just kind of like, yeah, you can keep your joy in Golden State. He had 8 there, and then he had 12, 23, and 18. So keep an eye out for rebounds, assists for Jimmy Butler in this matchup, where the Grizzlies play at the 5th fastest pace over the past month. And just like Deni Avdija, going to get more opportunities because of that fast pace. More possessions will go around, rebounds and for assists. And then this final game is the Timberwolves at the Nuggets. Jokic and Christian Brown are probable, and then Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray are questionable. Denver is hanging on to the 3 seed. Minnesota right now, they're trying to get out of a playing game and get to a 6 seed. They're kind of in the mix there with the Warriors and the Grizzlies. They've actually beat the Nuggets 3 times this year, so they're looking for a sweep against the Nuggets. A lot of the Timberwolves players are kind of inconsistent when it comes to props. And then we don't really know yet with the Nuggets who's going to be playing. Jamal Murray, I mean, that's a big injury. Aaron Gordon, that affects guys like Christian Brown and Michael Porter Jr. So if I had to look at someone or point someone out, it would be Julius Randle. I know he's been inconsistent on the year, but just recently he's had 26 points and 25 points in his last 2 games. And the last time they played against the Nuggets, he had 25 points against them. And I think that matchup opens up if Aaron Gordon sits. So that's just one to keep an eye out on the injury report for. So I know it's a quicker breakdown. If you'd like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. You can hop on there, talk about basketball, baseball, college basketball coming to a close. Going to be a great Final Four. That is free. Link is in the description. And as far as a recap goes, I didn't have much time to dig through lines, but I did find 2 based off my video. I had Tyrese Halliburton for a double-double. He hit that. And then I had the Jason Tatum rebounds assist, and he hit that. So 2-0 on that. I'll do my best in the morning when I'm having my coffee to dig through some more stuff. But sometimes, the wife is just like, can you hold the baby for a second? Because she's always holding the baby for like 95% of the day, and then I get the other 5%. So I'm going to get this edited and get it out to you. God bless you all. It's fun around. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.